I am Police Officer 2, Brian Taylor. This is my partner, Officer Zavala.
I'm in my chonies.
I know, dude. Come on.
I'm in my chonies. No.
Come on, man. We were basic patrol here at Newton, one of the toughest divisions in the LAPD.
Take pride in what you do, you guys.
Yes, sir.
I got him. Try to run.
Pit him, man. Pit him.
You know, I see you guys out here being good little company men. It's all fun and games. You get to run and jump and fight and shoot.
I'm down with that.
Watch your six.
Everybody here is family.
You know I love you, man. I would lay down my life for you, dude.
Hey, partner, what's up?
I want to have a daughter, man. That'd be so cool.
Just don't let her date cops.
She's not dating anyone.
Okay.
Ever.
105 North Avenue, 52.
Third Section 13, Roger.
What are we looking for again?
Dope, money, and guns.
¿Hablas inglés o español?
Good! You good, partner?
I'm good. What? You got more bling than the old lady's wedding ring.
Jake, I want to talk about the two positions of authority you've played, the Marine and Jarhead, and obviously the cop and end of watch.
Yeah.
The Marine being the danger that there was no danger anywhere, and then this,
Yeah.
that there's danger everywhere.
Yeah.
Which one was harder for you to get into, and which one was harder for you to walk away from?
I mean, I have to say, you know, obviously they both posed their different challenges, you know, but this one I spent so much time preparing for, and I spent 5 months on the streets with real police officers, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, throughout the night, you know, from 4 in the afternoon till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, and then we did tactical training with live ammunition, which I didn't do when we were preparing for Jarhead. And then we did fight training every morning. You know, when you get in a movie with David Ayer, you know, it's the experience of the movie even more than the movie itself.
Right.
So, but I did use a lot of mentality and a lot of the same attitude that I learned from, you know, my experience on Jarhead.
Oh, no kidding.
And this, yeah. And I'd happen to play, you know, I play a Marine who had been in Iraq when I come back I became a police officer in the Newton Division in this movie. So it's this sort of strange kind of world where
like
you
a weird
move from one,
sequel kinda.
yeah, in a weird way, yeah. And so, but yeah, there is so much more action in this movie. I mean, and it's really ultimately though about relationships and partnership and friendship. You
Right.
know, I mean, you could take these guys out of these uniforms and put them in a different context, and I think you'd still have an entertaining movie.
Right,
You
most
know.
definitely. And I loved how it was filmed, man. The idea that you're filming for a film class and it kind of puts you right there in the action.
Yeah.
If you could have had one of your other characters kind of in movies filmed that way to kind of
Yeah.
be just right there, right along with you the whole time, which one do you think maybe would have benefited the most from it?
Benefited the most, man. Most of my characters I played would benefit from being in that
I think
situation.
see, I was thinking like if like Donnie Darko just had a camera with him the whole time, like how wild that would have been.
Man, I would arrest Donnie Darko if I was.
Oh man. Now, okay, so I'm watching the performance with you and Michael, and it's just unbelievable. And it's obviously that the success of your performance relies on him, the success of him relies on you.
Yes.
How much more pressure is it on you to know that the only way he's going to be successful is if you bring your A game?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, the trick is, you know, I was on the movie before he was on the movie, and the trick was to get another actor who was more talented than me. That was the trick. It's always the trick, because then you just are better because of it.
Really?
So, yeah, that's the trick. I just gave it away. But, yeah, I mean, in this case, that's how it is with him, you know. As soon as he came on, everything started to open up, you know, new ideas. You know, he was pushing me, he was challenging me. And I think we both didn't realize at the very beginning that it took, you know, when you get into a scene with an actor, oftentimes, you know, you can be out of sync in terms of ideas, and they can still sync up. But in the case of this, like you said, you know, it's yin and yang. You know, one doesn't work without the other, which is the same thing with 2 police officers, obviously, on the street. So as soon as it took a couple months, but as soon as we started to sync up together and realize that literally, I had to match him, he had to match me at different times. You know, I couldn't just go through the door first, or
Right.
he couldn't just go through the door first. We had to go together.
Absolutely.
That was a long journey. You know, that and when I talk to partners, even police officers, and I know we were talking about acting, but we talk about police officers who enter a building or enter a house or whatever they're doing, you know, that we watched them do that every night we were with them, you know, and all it did was sort of make us go back and kind of go, God, how do we get there? 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 And inevitably, I think we did get there.
Absolutely. Well, they're giving me the wrap. I just wanted to ask really quick. You just have a great moment in the movie with Michael where you guys win an award, and you look at him, you say, "Do you feel like a hero?" And he says, "No." When you got nominated for Brokeback Mountain, did it change at all how you felt about yourself?
No, I think that was an amazing honor. I think it just, you know, what it is an encouragement to just to keep doing it, and that, you know, that you're pretty good at what you do, and that, you know, opportunities come up. And that was basically the feeling from that. And it was almost absurd in a way, you know, to be that age and to be there with all that incredible company and to be in the history of what that means. It was just a huge honor.
Gotcha. Well, it's always an honor to sit across from you, my friend. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
Nice
You're getting better and better every single time, man. It's always a pleasure.
Man. Thank you so
Take care,
much,
man. Good
Jake.
to see you.
I'll see you, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
That guy is into something. You're not a detective. Follow me into the house.
Oh my God.
Be careful. You just tugged on the tail of the snake. It's gonna turn around and bite you back.
You think I know we're rolling up on?
Every day feel the heat in the city. Like
Put your hands over your head. Get up.
Cartels are operating here. They operate by a different set of rules.
You know, I gotta say, from an audience perspective, this is the kind of movie that can change your perception of who you think a cop is and what you think a cop is. Looking at your first day of shooting versus your last day of shooting, how did your perception of what a cop is change?
No, we had 5 months of rehearsal, so we had like months and months and months of ride-alongs and weapons training, and also like, you know, the physical part of it was also a big thing, and you know, and plus rehearsing with my wife. You know, I went on a bunch of mini dates to try to get that realism in there.
Are mini dates any easier than real dates, or are they still, you still gotta...
Well, she had a boyfriend at the time.
Gotcha.
So they're like mini dates.
Sounds like my dates.
You know, hey! Doesn't that suck? But, you know, when it like, my perception changed like at 3 months. You know, at 3 months, I was like, wow, these guys are, you know, really good guys. And there's one thing that I keep saying that I think is really an interesting viewpoint as to how a neighborhood is really looked at by a lot of the police officers and sheriffs, that it's basically good. They're basically all good people in there. And there's like 20% of the people that aren't, you know, that are, you know, they're criminals or aren't do-gooders or don't have the people's best interest in mind. And those are the guys that you wanna keep away. And it's not the other way around. You don't attack a whole neighborhood. You most likely know that most people are good. And that's why you take the bad guys off the street, is to make sure that this guy, you know, there was one cool thing where this guy's like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, did you get into college? He's like, I got into Howard, man. And he's like, he's a good kid, man. Known him since he was 6. All right, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's a real, and that's what I liked about the movies. It touches on those real kind of genuine moments like that.
Yeah, but it's also tough to make a movie like this. Like, it's not, to try to make it about two guys that are good cops, a riveting movie, and hopefully compelling, entertaining. I mean, that's what you really want to do, you know, when you make a movie like this. It's a little tougher, because it's easier when you have like a, you know, somebody who's like twisted or like, you know, a crooked cop, and then there's, you know, an easier story to unfold. But I think we pulled it off.
Absolutely,
and I think
you most
David
definitely did. You most definitely did.
Appreciate
now,
it.
there's a great conversation that you and Jake have back and forth, essentially about the idea that being a cop isn't just, you know, shooting people and foot chases. I think one of the things you say, it's comfortable shoes. You got to have the comfortable shoes.
Comfortable footwear.
What is the aspect about an actor that is not? It's not just this. What it is really this.
It's so funny. I'm like, oh, it's actually pretending, and then, you know, trying to do everything that you can do to make it happen. But it's so weird. It's almost like high school, where like every movie is like a year in high school. You know, you have different experiences, sometimes different friends. You know, the football team does something different. Like if you're I was in the football team, you know, and everything is like a complete slice of life. And, you know, for actors like me and Jake, we try to be the character as much as possible.
Right.
He's not really playing himself. You know, Jake's not this guy. And he does it really well, where he transforms him. And I seen the transformation of him, you know, the actor, the leading man, into like this guy, you know, and it was pretty awesome to see, like, you know, Brian Taylor. And it's not nearly as glamorous, but it's definitely satisfying.
Well, that's how you know it's a good performance, whenever, you know, we think that that's what you guys are like.
That's
how you know
oh
you
yeah,
did it
that's
right.
awesome.
Yeah, well, they're giving me the rap. I could talk to you all day, man. Seriously,
Right
the
on.
movie's incredible.
Thank
you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
So why do they call you Big Evil?
Because my evil's big.
You're my brother. If anything happened to you, I would take care of your kids.
Word is, they got a hit on y'all, man. Y'all been greenlit.
We're cops. Everybody wants to kill us.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
13 X-ray 13, suspect running on foot.
Look at me. We're shooting our way out of here, bro.
Okay.
On 3, dude. You're gonna empty your mag and run. 1, 2,